So how's the Bay doing? We're happy to tell you that after starting in 1967, we finally have some encouraging signs of improvement that I'm going to go over here. I also wanted to talk to you about, since this is a wellness program, how the Bay's health affects your health, financially, emotionally, and physically. I think if you guys are here, you're interested in it. You know, I'm sort of preaching to the chorus. But I do want you to have arguments to use for other people. So think about this. Crabbing, boating, fishing. If you like to eat any of this stuff, if you like to go to restaurants. I didn't know what age students I'd be talking to, so I thought I'd be maybe talking to students who worked in restaurants. There are many ways in which the Bay enriches us. And it's not a battle between environmentalists and business people. It's a coalition. We need to join forces so that people can make money, so that our economy can be healthy, as well as our waterways. So I had some facts, some statistics that I just wanted to tell you that did not print out on here. So excuse me for one moment. I don't know if this will surprise you guys or not, but so how much is the Bay worth if we're talking about money? Maryland's hospitality industry, 238,700 jobs, $9.4 billion in sales, 10,282 eating and drinking places. This information is from 2010. We've got 66 state parks visited by 11 million people who spend $567 million when they visit the state parks. And crabbing brings $600 million to the state. Companies like Purdue, DuPont, Red Lion Foods, Delaware State Fairgrounds, Wawa, Starbucks, C&D Ship Canal, and the nation's most lucrative lima bean farms have in common that they all depend on the waters of the Chesapeake Bay watershed in Delaware to sustain their businesses. And President Barack Obama has described the Chesapeake Bay as a national treasure. And some say that its value is in excess of $1 trillion. So you can see, obviously, why that's important. So to measure where the Bay is now, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation created the State of the Bay report card in 1998. And for the first time, the Bay has improved by 3 points. 8 of the 13 indicators went up. Now, when you're looking at that, you're like, wow, 31, that's not exactly very good to be excited about it. But it is the first improvement, and I'm going to talk about how we can improve it and why a saved Bay is achievable.
Is it 31 out of
100.
Oh, okay.
So 0 represents a I know, it seems depressing. 0 represents a decimated bay, and 100 represents the pristine bay that John Smith saw when he first sailed the Chesapeake 400 years ago. Now, obviously, we don't have any photographs of that bay, but they took such detailed notes. They wrote about it beautifully. The people on Smith's voyage who were writing about this were really moved by the beauty of the bay. So we actually have a pretty good idea of what it's like, and that's what we're counting as 100 on our report card. Now, 31 is an improvement, but it still means that the Chesapeake Bay is on the EPA's impaired waters list. We need a score of 40 to get off the impaired waters list. A score of 70 is something that we've chosen that represents a saved bay. Now, 70 may not sound great, but it's achievable. And if you think about what it looks like and how much people enjoy it and how many people make a living off of it, as well as using it for recreation now, and that's at 31, imagine how nice it's going to be at 70. And this really is achievable, and I want to talk to you about exactly how. Okay, when we put together this report card, we've got these 3 main groups and indicators that fit into each group. And the categories, we're going to start with habitat, because I wanted to go back to focusing on your health. Now, we have all heard about and most likely experienced the benefits of exercise and relaxation. I don't think I need to convince you that, working out and these other practices impact your health in both the short and the long term. But studies have shown recently that stress is reduced just by looking at or being in our natural surroundings, like measurable stress reduction in clinical studies. So the difference between hiking at Patapsco State Park, say, or working on a treadmill in your house or the gym here or at your home are significant. According to a recently published study, experiencing the natural environment as opposed to an indoor simulation improves a person's perception of sensory input, feelings of harmony, well-being, quality of life, and that's versus restlessness, anxiety, and lack of concentration. And this study, which I thought was kind of neat, they had people sitting in the same room, and some of them got to look out a window while they were working, and there was a pretty scene, you know, outside the window, a pretty natural scene. And then the next group, they closed the curtains and showed the same pretty scene on a plasma screen TV. And it was a nice and a big TV. It was the same size as the window. But yet the people's, and they used you know, blood pressure and other physical means to measure their stress levels. The people were better off looking out the window than looking at the same thing on a screen.